Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be my first attempt at a ship review in Star Citizen, and let me tell you, it's one hell of a ship at the moment. It's the Constellation Taurus. I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty of weapons and health stats because, to be honest, there are other channels out there that do the same thing and they will do a much better job than I can. My reviews will be focused more around what it's like to actually own a ship, what I like, what I don't like after spending some time flying around in the verse with it. Before we get into the review, if you do find yourself enjoying the video, then a like or even a sub would be greatly appreciated. It helps out a new channel like mine so much. Let's get into it. Part of the Constellation lineup of ships, this is the cargo hauling variant, and it does that job incredibly well as being surprisingly capable in combat scenarios as well, which I was actually really surprised at once I first actually got out there in the ship. First of all, let's talk about what I love about this ship. The feeling I got when upgrading to this ship from the more starter focused ships like the Avenger Titan and the C1 Spirit was unmatched. The first time I saw this ship in my hangar, I felt like I'd truly become a member of the Star Citizen community. I don't know why, don't ask me, it's just how I felt. The cargo hauling ability in this ship is amazing, and I don't just mean the large capacity, which is 168 SCU. The drop-down cargo platform is an absolute game changer for someone who is used to carrying boxes up a ramp constantly with a tractor beam. If you pair this with the Argo ATLS, your cargo hauling runtimes will drop significantly. There's also a lower tractor beam as well as the lower turret instead of having weapons, which makes a massive difference as well. The platform can comfortably hold an Ursa or a medical Ursa as well if you're wanting to have a respawn point on your ship. It really creates a more versatile platform out of what you can get out of the verse, really. There's no lack of range on this ship either, so there's plenty of quantum fuel to get you across the verse and making several long jumps without needing to stop and refuel, so it's extremely convenient when doing those larger cargo runs as well. In combat, the ship performs surprisingly well. It feels like it really hits hard, especially against those smaller fighters, which it wipes out very, very quickly with the 4 pilot controlled repeaters. If you throw someone in manning the top turret as well, and the Taurus very quickly becomes a force to be reckoned with. It's almost like a battle whale. For the size of the ship, it's surprisingly maneuverable during combat, being able to track targets fairly easily, especially against AI fighters who, let's be honest, they're a little bit derpy at times. Don't get me wrong, you will lose sight of an opponent if they are in a smaller fighter or if it's a skilled pilot, but once you do get on target, you will make them pay for it. You also have a stupid amount of missiles at 26 as well, which you can fire up to 4 of them at a time for massive, massive damage. That's assuming that they actually hit though. The looks, at first I was unsure about how the ship looked from both an exterior and interior point of view, but over time it's definitely grown on me. The interior design is a bit rough and ready, especially coming from the C1 Spirit where things feel a lot more polished. The Taurus keeps everything a bit more utilitarian, but that can be forgiven for the quality of life features that the ship has, like the ability to raise and lower the cargo bay from the upper platform or the pilot seat, and the lower tractor beam turret as well is a massive game changer. You can load and unload cargo or even strip parts from ships that you have soft test during combat and load them up without ever having to leave the ship. Now let's talk about some of the things I don't like so much, and the elephant in the room is always going to be the cockpit. I don't know what they were thinking of when they stuck 2 struts in front of the pilot's face like that, but it does suck at first. Though eventually you do get used to it and you kind of start to ignore them and see around them, but it's something I'd definitely like them to change in the future because at the moment it's not great. There's also no storage in the ship like you may have in others that have like a small inventory that you can put smaller items into. There are these random lockers that you can place stuff inside physically if you really wanted to, but they probably won't stay in there for very long once the ship starts moving. There's also a small gun rack as well, which lacks the fanciness of the newer ships that kind of fold out and fold back in again. There's a nice little table that raises and lowers, but placing anything on it is hit and miss, with stuff just phasing through it the majority of the time and rolling around on the floor. Overall, the ship just feels a little bit unfinished, and hopefully it will get the love and attention it deserves soon, maybe with the gold passes and that type of thing. So, with changes in mind, let's talk about some of the rumors I have heard about things that might be changing with this ship. I am no means the arbiter when it comes to this information, and these are just things that I've heard rumored. So, some of the changes that might be happening are currently the ship has 4 pilot-controlled size 5 repeaters. Now, they might be getting downgraded to size 4, which is quite a drop, really, in the DPS that the ship can do. There's also a rumor that 2 of those guns will be slaved over to the co-pilot. So if these changes do happen, you are dropping down from 4 size 5 repeaters down to 2 size 4 repeaters for the pilot, with an additional 2 slaved over to the co-pilot, and obviously the turret on the top as well. These changes are going to be a massive hit to the Taurus's combat capability and change it from being a great all-round multi-role ship for a solo pilot, probably down to being more in line with what it was actually intended to be, which is a cargo hauler. So there you have it, a quick rundown of the Constellation Taurus, and honestly, in its current form, I love this ship, despite its flaws. The possibilities that this ship opens up to players in the verse is unmatched at this price point, in my opinion. However, if the rumored changes do happen, then I'm not too sure that I'll be holding on to it, to be honest. But I'm interested to hear in what you think about the Constellation Taurus. Do you love it? Hate it? Is there a better option out there at this level? Let me know down in the comments below. Also, if you would like me to review any other ships, let me know down in the comments. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.